let me just get this meeting is being live streamed. Okay, I'm gonna exit out of here. And then. All right, you see the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and I'm going to resume the recording. Okay, Mr. Chair, the floor is yours.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order for Southern Guam Soil and Water Conservation District, regular monthly board meeting. We are conducting it, today is Wednesday, June 19th, 2024, and the time is 4:09 p.m. We are here at the University of Guam's College of Natural Applied Science Building, room 206, or 126, I'm sorry. And we are also on Zoom. Can we get a roll call, Yvonne?
Yes, half a day.
For the nice seeing you the other day.
Yes, you too.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chairman Michael Uggan,
Present.
Vice Chairperson Glenn Takai,
Present.
District Director Glenn Dula.
I
He
believe
is
he's absent.
okay. District Director Martha Tenorio.
She too is traveling.
Okay, and District Director Yvonne Manglotno Waneza present. And then we have our oh, go ahead for the quorum. So we have quorum.
Okay. Yes, we do. We have quorum.
Okay. And for our Southern Guam Soil and Water Conservation staff, District Administrator Erica Pangilinan.
Present.
And then we have our Program Support Specialist, John Tanuvasa. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, he did.
All right.
Present.
Okay, welcome aboard. Conservation Technician, Madeline Flores.
Present.
Welcome aboard. Thank you. And that concludes roll call.
Okay, thank you. Nobody else popped in yet, so we're good. We'll just continue. We'll go to item number 2, acceptance of the meeting agenda.
I'll go ahead and move to accept the meeting agenda as presented.
I second.
Okay, without objection, we will consider it approved. Move on to the next one, item number 3, approval of meeting minutes from May 8th and May 17th, 2024.
Okay, I'll go ahead and move to approve the meeting minutes of both May 8th and May 17th of 2024.
Okay, I will second that.
Okay, again, without any objection, so moved. Moving on to the next one is treasurer's report.
Mr. Chair, if I may, our treasurer is currently on her way back she's currently in flight and not present today, so we can go ahead and provide the treasurer's report at the next board meeting.
We need to motion on that.
Yeah, let's go ahead if we can table that for next board meeting.
I'll go ahead and I will table the treasurer's report due to her being in flight until the next board meeting.
Second.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Without any objection, so moved. Moving on, number 5, old business. Item A, 2024 Next Generation Leadership Institute cohort.
Yeah. Okay. I only updates I had is I had another webinar. It actually included the NACD president, Kim LaFleur. It was a really good one. It was just really a time for her to meet every single one of us. And it was via Zoom. So she got basically her main question was, how did we get involved the districts, or in the program, I'm sorry. And so I just shared, you know, my piece of how getting involved, and then she, at her end, she wanted each one of them to try to start looking into getting into a committee. And it was really funny because I was the only one that was already in one. So I'm on the Natural Resources Committee. And so I said, hey, and she goes, okay, then Glenn, because you're a board member in Guam, that was a given. So she goes, you're good to go. So I'm ahead.
As
Other than that,
usual, Guam is on it.
yeah, Guam's on it. So I think the only other thing there is was no, it's just our next
Your
meeting.
training.
Yeah, our next one will be
Yeah.
the training next month.
So anyways, Glenn's next activity would be the upcoming training,
Mhm.
September 8th to the 13th in DC and Virginia.
Yes.
Mhm.
I will have another webinar in July. That's gonna be via Zoom on our own. So, but yeah, our next training will be on September 18th, which is gonna be during our Pacific Region meeting, which I think you guys will be in Alaska for those that attend. So I was like, no. So,
Yeah.
but this one's a required one, so I have to be there at Virginia and West Virginia, and I believe DC. So that's in September, a couple months from now.
So we do need to have a motion on this for Glenn's trip and then reimbursement as well as what?
Yeah, I think they will cover that one too.
Yeah.
So we have, but move to.
Yeah,
Yvonne?
Okay, let me see. So can you repeat that one more time so I can repeat it?
Okay. So I'll be having a training on September 8th through 13th out to DC and
Okay.
Virginia. And so that one will need
Okay.
to confirm attendance for that. I believe that will need some board approval to send me out for that
As well as
training.
travel.
As well as the travel expenses.
Travel reimbursement.
Okay, I make a motion to allow Director Glenn Takai to attend what is this meeting? I'm so sorry.
it's
September
still,
8th to 13th.
September 8th to the
September 8th through
13th
the 13th
in DC and
in
Virginia.
DC and Virginia travel reimbursement.
Yeah, okay. Second.
I'll second.
Okay, without further objection, so moved. Thank you, Yvonne. Okay, where we at? B, the NACD Technical Assistance Program.
okay, Mr. Chair, so we do currently have two technical assistance grants, that are in motion right now. So the TA 2022 is ready to close out, but of course, we're still pending the purchase of the equipment that we've budgeted for under the grant. I know the last time the board met, there was an official approval for us to purchase the laptops. However, the 60 days of the quote that we've gathered has expired, or the quote that we expired, or the quote that we gathered expired, because it's only good for 60 days. So we have John, who's gathering additional quotes. So we'll move on that so we can close out the grant. But no further action is needed on that. As soon as we can get that purchase going, we can expend all the funding and move to close the grant. For the TA 2023 grant, we have commenced the grant funding and the program. We have hired our program support specialist, John Tanavasa. I've sent out an email to the board regarding this personnel action. We will discuss further during the executive session. So board members, I'd like to introduce John Tanavasa.
Welcome, John.
Yes.
Thank you.
Trust me,
I've
he's already
actually-
been a good asset to our
Yeah.
organization. Very helpful.
Welcome, John.
Thank you.
So John, I've asked John to, say a little intro,
Of course.
introduce himself.
Hi, everybody. My name is John. I'm really interested in organic like farming and stuff like that. And I've also done like GIS work. Really excited to be a part of what we're doing, and hopefully I can be an asset to you guys and help, and however I can. Um, thank you.
All right. Welcome, John.
Welcome, John.
By the way,
John, if
he's from Jotnia,
Go
so
ahead.
he's a southern.
Yes, I'm from Jonya. Sorry.
Yeah.
He lives in
Okay, I
Jotnia.
have a quick question for you, John. Where did you come from? Like, where was your past work at?
My last job that I was working at, I was a contractor with NAFAC. I was doing like GIS work, like mapping and stuff like that.
Wow, okay. Awesome. That's definitely a skill that we need, and so I can't
Yes.
wait to see the work that you'll be doing.
Well, just so you guys know, John and I, the other day, we hung the TV monitor up here on the wall already in the office. So hopefully next meeting we'll be able to use it. Okay. Welcome, John.
Thank you.
So anyways, where are we at? Where are we at, Erica?
All right, we're still in the TA 2023. So just so that the board is aware, John will be primarily providing assistance to the USDA NRCS office. Of course, we have to update our memorandum of agreement with NRCS so that John and Maddie will be able to access files in the office space. So that's already in, we've already submitted their names to NRCS's leadership. We're just pending when they can start reporting into NRCS for some training. And I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit if that's okay with the board. I'd also like to introduce Madeline Flores, who will be the conservation technician working under the REPI grant. Maddie, we're so excited to have you on board with John. We have a really great team. She has also worked hard in the office and cleared out that dusting closet that's just been sitting. Oh my God.
They've been busy. They've been busy, and they're really doing a lot of good stuff for us. And we expect they're going to be very supportive of all our efforts. I believe that they got the right attitude, they got some skills, and they're willing to do it. So, welcome, Maddie. As you guys know, Maddie's also a board member for the Farmers Co-op.
Right on. Welcome, Maddie. I actually walked in when I saw them working really hard, so I was yeah. It's really awesome. So
Welcome, Maddie. Great to have you here.
Yeah, so although Maddie is working under the REPI grant, it would be great for her to begin training with John, as you know, the districts will be able to provide assistance program wise to NRCS. In other words, supporting or recruiting more farmers into the programs. So Maddie and John will learn a lot about the contracting program or contracting process when it comes to the federal programs available, such as EQIP and CSP. But Maddie, since we're on the topic of you too, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and say a few words? And
So like my Chairman Mike said, I'm the board secretary for the Farmers Co-op, and we are hopefully I get reelected. We're doing elections again soon. Yes, I would like to be still be a part of that for another term, hopefully. And yes, I do hydroponic lettuce. Was doing that before the typhoon. Unfortunately, the typhoon kind of slowed down the pushing of the lettuce and stuff, but I'm trying to get back into it. And yeah, and then tomorrow we're gonna attend the Guam Forest System Plan Summit, the Hyatt. So get to network and more, more networking and getting to know the other agencies. So I'm excited.
All right. Thank you, Maddie.
Bill?
Right, thanks.
Okay, so with that, that concludes the NACD technical assistance portion. And no further board action is needed at this time. Until we get to the executive session, as mentioned.
Okay. Okay, where are we?
GACD.
Okay, GACD Technical Assistance Program.
Okay, so as the board is aware, we do have involvement in the GACD Technical Assistance Grant for the TA 2020 grant that has been successfully closed out. We will need to draft up a memo to send out to the membership of GACD, which is the Northern and Southern District boards, and detailing the final closeout of the grant, as well as the accounting and any reports and deliverables that were accomplished during the grant. So that's just so we can have that in place and so that the Northern is aware as well. But regarding the GACD in itself, we do have to meet further to discuss the status of that organization. So Chairman, I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that at this time. Otherwise, we can just hold off.
Yeah, I apparently the Northern had a meeting with Dr. Barber yesterday afternoon or so, and so they were discussing issues regarding the GACD grant funding and all that. So they're requesting that we have a meeting. Maybe they were saying maybe July 8th was a good date. If we're available to do that, I would like us to be a part of that. And we'll discuss what's the plan moving forward, because basically GACD is like, it's still hanging there. We can't do anything. We've been funded from the grant, but now we're having issues with that. So I think it's time for us to talk about either dissolving it or whatever and create something new. So I don't know.
Well, I also think too, we gotta finalize that before the next meeting, the summer meeting. Because I know that that's kind of like what determined our membership in regards to the board members that's
Yeah,
representing
to the
Guam.
NACD,
Yeah.
exactly.
And so I know last meeting, the Southern District was the one that repped it. And so I believe it's supposed to alternate the last time we spoke until something is done. So did we I know we sent something into Sabina Perez. I don't know if we eventually went over to the AGs. Could we follow up with that, or should we
Yeah,
whether we make a motion here or not? But I don't think we need to, but maybe Chair, I don't know if we need to send in a letter to Sabina Perez following up on that, because I think it was her that we had asked. I'm not sure if we did the AG, but we will need something even regardless of that meeting July.
That's
Right.
true, because whatever we decide going forward, it's not likely to get done by
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
right.
So
We just want to make sure that the GACD is legitimate and the district directors are not in any sort of conflict of interest. We just
Yeah.
want to ensure that the organization is structured as it's supposed to be. So yeah, I think the letter or following up with Senator Sabina, because I know the North stance on it is to just continue using GACD, but we can't have it the same way it has in the past, because the membership consists of the voting members being the district boards. If you,
Yeah,
I mean,
the 10.
so
Yeah.
we-
So
we need
I,
to, like, do
to me,
that
I
bit.
think the North, they have this, idea that if we just get maybe a couple so-called civilians into the board, that satisfies that thing, but I don't think it does, based on what the University of Guam's legal advisor member, they said that we cannot be a board member in that thing. So that doesn't mean because we put these civilians in that it allows us so. So I don't know if they're gonna get that through there or,
Yeah, I think I remember some of the questions we had was what consists of quorum. I think the directions was 10, right? 5 and 5 in the bylaws. And then I think there was a problem with the district administrator, right? So I think those were some of the questions that we had. And then also the fee was, I think, 1,000 per director, or was it just a 5,000 flat regardless of how many directors from each district? So if I can recall correctly, I think those were the questions that we had that we submitted to Sabina. And then is it a conflict of interest with the structure of the bylaws in GACD? So can we just go ahead and move forward to follow up with Sabina on what she found out?
Yeah.
And therefore maybe even submit to the AG's office and see, or did we already make a motion last, I think, so many meetings back on that?
Yeah, I think what we need to do is definitely submit to the AGs, because we've only submitted it to the University of Guam Legal Counsel.
Oh, okay, that's.
But you know, they provided the legal advice, in which has prompted the district to kind of halt any, or at least the Southern, and also GACD's board at that time. We decided to just halt all activities. But being that we had a grant already in place, we didn't want to jeopardize or risk losing that grant funding. So it was mutually agreed that the Southern would handle the,
Yes.
go ahead and administer the rest of the funding. So now it's an issue that has been brought up by the Northern District, that they felt that we need to have a GACD meeting to discuss that. But it's already been
But-
closed.
no, and the fact is, I mean, I don't know how we're gonna do that. Cause we already decided that we can't have a GACD board meeting.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think maybe their question is probably for representation out there in the States. Because remember, the board, I believe the board members that's on the panel when we vote at NACD meetings is the president and the vice president, correct? Or the stand-in. Right? If I'm not mistaken. So that would
think
be,
it's
or
the-
aside from chair here being our executive board member, he's automatically on that. But in regards to when we don't have that.
Oh,
it was-
so what you mean is like who represents Guam at NAC?
Right,
So
at the
I think-
actual board meeting.
Because of the whole GACD debacle, what we've decided was we'll revert back to how it was originally done in the
That was the
past.
alternates, right? I mean, always
yeah.
switching.
Like
Okay,
one term, it's the Northern
right,
chair, and then the next term is the Southern chair. But
right.
being
So this
that
past,
so
the past meeting we had in San Diego was the Southern.
right. As
So
the,
this next meeting, then it's gonna be basically the Northern then. And I was thinking that's maybe why they wanted to probably convene, is to probably ensure that happens, or they weren't sure of that when it was.
Or is it, Erica? Was
is it
that you for the whole year?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's probably why they
the
wanted
whole
to.
year. It
Yeah,
was you the whole year, but because you have your NGLI
Mhm.
stuff, your alternate, which is the North, is stepping
Yeah.
in. So
And I
next,
did have the chair of the North step in a couple of meetings of mine,
Yeah.
on the last meeting.
yeah. So I know what they wanna, I'm not sure why they fully wanna meet. I didn't receive like that request of their meeting, but it may be to discuss to the status of the GACD. But I think what Chairman and I have discussed is that we just don't want to meet as GACD period. Like we should just meet as the joint
Yeah,
It's
SW.
defunct, it's kind of defunct.
Yeah, we should just meet as joint SWCD boards and discuss GACD. But they want to hold an official GACD board meeting
Oh,
when
a
they
meeting.
know that we're not supposed to be holding a GACD
Oh,
board.
I see.
Or
I
well, at
understand.
least we know,
Yeah.
we don't want to have any type of,
Call the meeting to order like that for
right,
GAC. I get it.
right. I mean, we should just meet as the boards, the joint boards and hash it
And
out.
discuss how we, okay.
Yeah, and then advertise it, all of that. So that's,
Yeah. So in the meantime, then do we go ahead and look into the AGs maybe and just try to see?
yeah, I still have the letter that we can
Just
send
get
to
an
the
opinion,
AG's
maybe?
office. If that's what the board thinks we should do.
I might have a question about that because the AG right now is in like having issues regarding representing
The
the
government.
government.
Yeah.
So these kind of things are part of that argument that he's having with the governor. And UOG being
A government arm.
semi-autonomous might even make it even more
Difficult.
because they are allowed to have their own
Right. Yeah. Legal. Our
I
own
legal.
say let's just work with Senator Sabina and have her kind of help us go about
Yeah.
it.
And we did receive from legal anyway, from UOG,
Right.
correct?
And we'll
Okay.
just present that letter
Yeah.
that we received from UOG and let her kind of determine what needs to happen, because
Okay.
she may have a better
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
grasp.
I think the AG is only not representing people who are being investigated, so if you guys want.
Well,
Or agencies, I mean.
yes and no. He's still questioning his, and he kind of like withdrew. Cause
From everything?
yeah,
Oh,
cause even DOE, for example, stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I don't, to me, I still try to figure out.
yeah.
They, these attorneys can come up with amazing art. The Supreme Court of Guam, what do they call it? The High Court, right? They already told him, but he's still questioning me. So
Okay.
you know what I mean?
So let's just stick with Sabina for now. maybe
Yeah.
Oversight.
And then if we have to eventually, we'll pose it to AG, but I think maybe we'll just keep doing what we're doing there with the legislature, hopefully. And if nothing's moving, then that's definitely we need to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, we really think that the GACD should just be
Dissolve.
dissolved.
Yeah. Until the
And
bylaws
then
are
start-
completely changed.
Yeah, and start a
Yeah.
new, because
But-
like Farmers Co-op has a great like structure that, how can we mirror that,
Yeah. But then now that comes into question, how then do we change the GACD bylaws? Would it be whoever's in place now and change that in terms of, so maybe that might be why they want to convene?
Yeah, so I know, so yeah, maybe that we need to change the bylaws. But if we
And
just
we'll
dissolve
need to
it,
convene in order to do that. Right?
right, so we're thinking of just starting a whole different, dissolving GACD and then creating a
Just
whole new
completely
different
create a
set
new-
of bylaws and structure and
Well, let's-
governing.
Yeah, Erica brought up a good thing about the farmers co-op. So the farmers co-op is a nonprofit, but it's basically recognized by the government of Guam to represent farmers. So there's some kind of precedence for something there,
Like that.
So we just gotta figure that out.
Okay.
Because whenever Gov Guam, like Gita, right, who funds all of these different projects and programs that, for farming and all these other things, they always go through Farmers Co-op.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's their channel of doing that. So maybe that's something that we need to do here. figure out some kind of, like, make another GACD, some organization.
A nonprofit, and just saying start a new.
Which would be for the districts to be able to participate with the NACD and also do those, whatever else on this,
Right.
on the nonprofit side.
This is the state association,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for moms, so we want it to be legit, like
Yeah,
we're
so we did,
recognized-
ask, I know Caleb responded to some of that thing recently about the state association, right?
Yeah,
So basically, I think we need to reach out and get some good information from like California and other Hawaii
yeah.
on their state association and how they organize it and how do they make it relate, and then we should just
Yeah.
try to go
Well,
with that.
I know we did, on some, I know one of the solutions was basically that they hold an election, but the elections will not consist of board directors on the district. So if they hold an election and, for example, the president and vice president, so on and so forth, the voting members of the state association are not district directors. That would solve the whole thing. It would be an association that's not.
Okay, and this is one thing though, it's in the States, it's so easy to find all these people.
Yeah, right.
There's like,
Who's it gonna be?
hundreds, thousands, whatever people, there's people want to partake, right? On Guam, let's say just to our,
Who's gonna-
to our own board here, even the co-op
We're
board.
scratching.
Yeah, there's really not
Try to
a
find
lot
them.
of people stepping into those, willing to take that responsibility.
So that's why we're kind of doing two birds with one stone kind of a deal
Yeah.
to start it, but, okay, let's just go ahead and figure right with what
Yeah.
Selena says, and then we'll,
Okay,
at least we know that's still the position we're in.
So the action will be to further, or to follow up with Senator
Follow up.
Sabina, and then we'll make a recommendation about meeting with the Northern Board as the joint SWCDs to discuss GACD further. Okay,
okay.
so moving on to
I
the,
I was gonna say, and we'll base that on the legal advice that we got from UOG, that we don't wanna convene as a GACD meeting. We're just gonna be together on that day. They're asking us as districts.
right.
Yeah,
Okay, that's good. And
Just
then
to make sure
also
that,
we'll be sending a letter to all board directors, or both boards, detailing the final closeout of the TA 2020 grant.
Yeah.
Just so
Have
that they're aware of all the activities that's taken place under this grant. Okay, so moving on to the TA 2021 grant, we received another round of funding from NACD in the amount of $80,000, and by we, I mean GACD. Because of the whole issue with GACD, we returned the 20,000 that they've deposited into the account, the GACD account. So that way we can work towards a new MOA. Now, the issue so we have to decide, both boards, NACD has requested both boards kind of work together because this was money that went to Guam, the GACD, on how we want to go about this. So initially, the South, we are willing to take the lead, as we did with the TA 2020 grant. We have to expend this 80,000 before September 30th.
wow.
But due to the just the issues with dealing kind of or working with the North, I feel like the board should either, what do we want to do? Do we want to maybe give them half? See if they want to just take half and do their own thing. We take half and
Well,
do.
what was that email or message that Caleb sent, right? He said the first one recommendation would be to use that money for the training and event that we're talking about in September, right? He said that was like the better option But if not that, split it and let go our merry ways and let the North, I think it was like trying to get something, wait, man, I don't know where I'm gonna look for that. Do you
No,
have that message, Erica? You have?
yeah.
I'm sure. But
So
something about letting them do
basically
their
there's
thing,
two, yeah, there's, oh, wait, let me,
but the reality of getting it
Yeah.
all done on that point
Yeah.
is not likely to,
Says,
yeah.
yeah, the funds are set to expire on September 30th, if not spent. And then he had, considering, yeah, so that's what his suggestions were.
See, hosting the conservation district training,
Mhm.
that was the number one thing. Then number two was what?
Dividing it in between
Dividing
the
it.
two.
And what was his comment on that?
The fund staff time between now and September 30 is another alternative, but it may prove difficult to hire, train, and place staff in the very short format timeline.
That's the one into
That's to split it.
NRCS, right?
Well, I mean, however we choose to
Oh,
use it.
okay.
So yeah, those were the suggestions by Caleb.
Yeah,
I mean, initially, we were the ones that kind of said, hey, you know,
We'll
we
take the
want,
lead.
we need this training. It was kind of the South's kind of initiative to be like, this is the need, this board capacity training. Director
Mhm.
Kai, that, you know, I know that you've been advocating for that.
Yeah. Yep.
So we found out that the GACD technical assistance funding can be used to host this island-wide board capacity training with the North, but it just seems like it's we can still do it. It's just at this point,
so if we split the money and we wanted to conduct our own training event and maybe includes CNMI if they're willing to come, is that something or, I don't know about partnering with the Northern on that effort already. It's like, I don't know. They would have to agree on their side and use their share of the money. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, we can meet with them, but I feel uneasy with them agreeing for us. They like how they agreed for us to administer the grant, and then now it's an issue. Like like we're
Yeah,
even use the funding to help them and help their staff, and it's an issue. I get it, but that was a decision that was mutually agreed at the time, and for it to be brought up like, you know, there's issues, it's just kind of a slap to the face to our partner, you know, our partnership.
the efforts.
So when we advocated for this funding, was there a like deliverables that we were gonna deliver on that is available to see what we were gonna use the money for? Of course, there was the board.
Yeah.
I mean, I was advocating for the whole board capacity training because we wanted to build capacity in our board and learn and understand the things with NRCS and things like that. But I don't know if we ever submitted anything that showed what were gonna be the tasks and the deliverables with that money when we get it. Did that ever? Or they just dropped in and said, here's.
Yeah, no, so I think initially we agreed, or when we initially applied for the grant, which was way back in 2021, it was to implement the actions that were indicated in the strategic plan.
Long range plan, right?
We developed a strategic plan for GACD. We wanted to use this round of funding to implement the strategic plan. Because it took a while to draw down on our previous grant, because we couldn't start the TA 2021 grant unless we closed out TA 2020. We're kind of we fell behind in the timeline. So now we're using this board capacity training as a way to use the funds.
Spend the funds.
And spend it.
Okay.
But
So
yeah, training pretty much.
So how about we think about Busta just give them 40, we'll split it, and then we'll do our thing with the 40 grand for our board.
Yeah.
Because that's
I think
gonna be a tough
Director Manglona, Juaneza has her hand
Okay, cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry, Yvonne, I
You
thought
can
you were
see it
waving
now.
at
No, no, no.
Glenn.
No, it's fine.
What do you think?
So I just want to be clear, we have 80,000 for to spend, and Caleb asked if, you know, we can do training, we can divide it, and so that would be 40 for the north, 40 for the south, or it can fund remaining staff time. And I do kind of agree with Erica's concern that if we do give the 40 to the north, you know, are they able to draw it, spend it by September? That would be the concern, because we do have to close this grant out by, I think we were given what, 90 days to, what is it called? Liquefy? I don't know. The funds or draw
It
down,
expires
or
in
what is it,
September.
obligated?
Yeah.
Okay, it expires at that time, but I think
September 30th.
you can still, okay. But even then, it's like, okay, if we do get the 80,000 for board capacity training, that's a lot of money for just training. Like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And even with 40 grand, what are we gonna do with that 40 grand? Are we
No, because
going to?
we're also trying to get CNMI and maybe other like Palau or FSM or M to come in,
Mm.
and we're gonna
How
support
about
that
how about
effort.
we go out there?
That was the
No, I'm just
idea
kidding.
back when we
Yeah,
were
That would be
talking.
ideal,
Yeah.
honestly.
well, you know, that would be great if we could have them come to Guam, and then we can, you know, we can strengthen
Yeah,
our
like
partnerships with them.
so.
I like
You're talking about where maybe we could like fund one and then they would obligate another one on their own. You know what I mean? To come out, so they would have two, right? Something like that. That would help. Let them pay for one, we'll pay for one, kind of thing. So that would just increase the numbers, but we're only gonna spend for one each. So I mean, those are options that we can do if we were gonna go forward with this training, but if we're gonna do it on our own, then yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the Northern will be able to do. And so Erica, I got a question. What if we split it? We spent our 40,000 on our efforts and they didn't do theirs. So what happens now to that now?
That might be a
They-
question for
they
Caleb, right?
They would have to give back the money, whatever they didn't spend. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
40 grand's a lot.
But would that affect us also? Would that be
No. No, because we're getting our own agreement.
Yeah,
okay?
and 40 grand's a lot.
So
for
if
training.
we're splitting, we're entering into different
Separate
separate
agreement.
MOAs.
Yeah.
So
But are we gonna be
they're
able
to theirs.
Yeah, are we gonna able to do that, all that and get it done before
Oh,
the
yeah,
fiscal?
I'm fired up.
Yeah. And if you guys recall, the what I was advocating for was for the directors and or staff to be the capacity building I was speaking on was for us to be trained to be level 3 trainers. I mean, not for us to be able to do it, but to be trained in the capacity to
knowledge of it,
understand it.
right?
Yeah. But not to go out and start writing plans now. It was just so that we know, so that we can work and pair up with NRCS and FSA for that matter, and understand what roadblocks or things or challenges are there. And that included even them flying us out there if we had to go to do, you know, they didn't have the boot camp anymore, but that was the idea when we brought this up a little while ago, at least in New Orleans.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I guess we
So,
could figure
yeah,
out.
that 40,000 can be used to contract somebody to develop, like locally, like how we're partnering with UOG
Yeah.
to develop
Yeah.
the, you know, the specs for the fence. Like this could also kind of feed into like a program for conservation technician or planner capacity. We also wanted to use the funding to maybe develop a one-stop shop for our farmers to come in, which is basically the office, set it up. So, and then, yeah, the board training, the board capacity training, and hosting the local working group meeting too, or learning how to effectively host local working group meetings here, like
Oh,
engaging Ray Ledgerwood to come out to do a
Yeah.
presentation. That
would
was
we still be able to get Ledgerwood if we're doing it on our own?
We can definitely get Ray Ledgerwood.
Hey, we can bring Caleb back out too.
Yeah,
I'm
that
saying, I
was
mean-
all a part of the plan
Yeah.
that we initially talked about before these issues that the
All
North,
right.
yeah, so. I
So what are we
mean,
gonna do now?
So are we gonna, we're gonna do that?
I think
What do
we'll
we do?
throw it out maybe to Caleb and see if we can just split the funding.
Well,
Because it's,
I think in his email, he threw it out to us, so I
Yeah,
think it's
to
already,
decide.
it's up for us now to be able to make that call.
okay, so we'll just split it, they can do their thing and we'll just use the funding to do our thing.
We're gonna vote?
Yes, that would require board action.
Yeah,
Okay,
so can I get a motion to
okay.
sever or split the remaining GACD technical assistance grant fund from which 2021, Erica?
2021, yeah.
Yeah, with
Okay.
the Northern Board and go our merry ways, decide what we wanna do after that.
Sure. I'll go ahead and I'll make the motion to divide the 80,000 from the TA from 2021. To give split the 80 grand, 40,000 to the north and 40,000 to the south. For us to use for our technical assistance staffing and use the funds that will expire otherwise by September 30 for our capacity building in the southern district.
A second.
Okay.
Yvonne, you second?
Yeah.
She
Yes,
did, or-
I second.
She second.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't catch it. Okay, without any objection, so move. Thank you for that. Yeah, let's get it done and
Yeah,
let's
now we
move
gotta
on.
put some work in that.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely email Caleb and let him know what the decision was for, or our stances, and we'd like to just split the funding. And then I think there are additional steps that need to happen, so I'll share that with the board. And like, we need to develop a budget and
Do we-
revise it.
More work. You got more work.
So when you do reach out to
I
Caleb,
can
Erica,
assist with
just,
the budget.
Thank you, Director. Okay,
okay,
I'll work with you. And then we'll throw it out.
awesome.
Thank you.
Sorry, Chairman.
So when you talk to Caleb, also you talk to him about continuing on for our effort though, right?
Yes, that we still
Okay.
plan to.
Yeah. Scaled back version.
Yeah, yeah.
Small scale.
Well, and in the email, it does say our updated letter plan, so.
Okay,
Okay, so.
ready? Move on?
Yeah.
NACD Reppy, right? That's where we're at.
Right.
Okay,
Okay, so I know we jumped ahead a little bit and we introduced Madeline Flores as our new conservation tech hire under the REPI grant. So Maddie will be mostly interfacing with our farmers and focusing on developing the producer network and recruiting farmers into our district. So we're really excited to have her be working with the farmers. Her and John will, we're full circle. So once Matt.
That includes Kaya, right? With the drone.
Yes, which is a great segue into the next
Reach out and that hope to be good. It's be nice.
session.
yeah,
So
gotta get.
we have a little, I guess there's a little roadblock with Drone Corps, because I know she's out right now on some medical leave, but
Oh,
yeah, I just read that in the email. But at least these guys will be jamming it. That one will just be her drone stuff, but.
well, that was the question, because I was trying to get them both, like Kaya and Maddie and potentially even John out to the farm site so we can meet with the farmer and then Kaya can be mapping at the same time. But I think it's seems like it's gonna be a while before Kaya returns. So do we want to just schedule these site visits with the farmers?
So I would just put them out there. So that way they develop their relationship and everything.
Okay,
And get all whatever information we need to do what we're doing. And then as soon as Kaya, or if it's gonna be someone else is available, so we bring them back to the farm.
Mhm.
Already you have that relation with them already, see?
okay,
And then we can get things going. That's the base. With farmers like that, developing these relationship is the most important part.
And they
That's
did
the
that,
first step.
and they did that on
Yeah.
my farm too.
Yeah,
So they were able to come back.
so that's a good way to do it.
I did want to ask, I mean, you know who she came out with was Anissa Lujan. I know she's on the Climate Smart
Yeah.
Commodities grant with Dr. King,
Yeah.
but is she able to do it in the absence of,
I don't
That
think
was-
Anisha does that.
I mean, there are other like drone pilots.
Yeah.
I know Kaya is assigned to us specifically.
Oh, okay.
That was the next question is, should I request
a
for
different?
some backup? Or,
Well, you know what, if you reach out to Romina, right, you know, of course, express our concern and, for Kaya, right, and hopefully she gets whatever her medical issue is and all that, but just ask her, is she aware of like how much time frame we have here, or is she, because she's the one who would decide that, right? She able
Right.
to find someone else to help cover down that assignment or something?
yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because it's been a while already. I think maybe a month, and I'm concerned for our own targets,
Yeah.
but
And-
yes,
and We're
Yeah.
ready to move, so let's kind of find a way to do it.
okay, so in the meantime, we'll start scheduling some one-on-one time with the farmers and complete their registration process. And then we'll have Kaya come out, because I guess it doesn't take too long for Kaya.
Yeah, it was like 5 minutes at my farm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah.
It's fast.
All right, team, we hear that, so we'll just go ahead and continue that. We'll just schedule the site visits. We'll get a head start on that.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, moving on then, so as
Southern
part
Guam, feral
of the-
swine?
well, we just have a few more things on the REPI grant.
Oh, okay.
So being that we're on the networking and mapping, John, with his GIS experience, he will be also dedicating some time to building our SWCD base layers. So, John, did you want to kind of go over what we talked about
Yeah,
in terms of this proposed base layer and how we're going to go about it? I can share the screen.
okay, can you show the visual one
Yeah,
first?
here we go.
Okay, so basically, this is what I'm trying to do. So the one in the middle is gonna be, that's gonna be our layer. That's gonna have all the data on our farmers, and then the top is where all the data is coming from. So the first one is gonna be like the forms that we're filling out, and when we're registering them or whatever like that's gonna come from there. Then the other source is gonna be BSP. It's gonna be we're gonna get our base map from them, and then we can get any related data. Like, I know you guys mentioned stuff about like archaeological, or I saw on the forum, it says like, you're asking them like what size is their water connection. Like at BSP, they have everything. So we can get any related layer that we need from them, so that, maybe we don't have to ask them. I mean, it's better to ask them, but I'm just saying we'll have access to, other things that we need to know. And then the next one's the field data that we'll collect from other stuff. And then the other source will be like the land management, like I'm looking for the survey data, so they can do an accurate parcel, map the parcel accurately. And then the bottom's gonna be like just the outputs that we can use it for. So can make maps. We can use it with the connected to the registry that you guys are doing. Then we can have a SharePoint where everybody can use it easily. And then we'll have another program called Field Maps where we could do stuff like, you know, in that training that we had recently where we use Google Earth Pro. It's similar to that, but it all connects together. It's like a suite where, you know, it'll just be much easier if everything's on the same page, like, you know, connected. And then I met with my friend at BSP. Could you show the agreement, the partnership agreement, I guess?
Yeah.
So we're working on developing an agreement, but you know, it's been like informal, but he agreed to help us and provide us with access to all the data that we're allowed to see. And he said he's gonna also give us an account and a base map. Yeah, so it's gonna help to get things rolling quicker. And the other thing I wanted to say was the feral pig mapping doesn't depend on this. I could do that earlier, another way, but yeah. So this is just the agreement that we're
When you say the feral pig mapping, which one? The one that
the
we were
fencing
talking
that you were
about?
talking. I could do that before that. I don't need to.
Yeah.
This is gonna take a little while longer. Yeah, but
That looks great.
yeah.
Okay.
Sounds great too.
John,
Okay.
who is your contact at BSP? Is it Deputy Director Matt Santos?
Yes, I spoke with Matt,
Okay.
and it was like an informal thing. So you know, I'm just trying to get fully informed on this side. You know exactly what we need, and we're going back and forth with this agreement. Like Erica made one, and then this one's kind of edited. I edited it to the conversation that we had. But if we want more stuff, we could add it when I go back and just talk to him, you know, about it. But it was just like an informal meeting, but he agreed to help.
And
Director
I just
Yvonne, oh yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to add can you scroll down a little bit more?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more support, a little bit more. I just want to know what layers we're requesting aside from the base layer and then the feral pig and the farmer inventory. And
wanna
I'm
see this
only
one?
think
There.
okay. Maps for field mats, easy SharePoint. Okay, map first. Okay. If we could add another layer for our mission, and that's for soil and flooding, because it would be good for us to kind of know where those areas are.
Okay.
Even all of the layers for the current agricultural land, the zones for agricultural.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking in terms of conservation later on in the future, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm trying to think ahead, and in terms of like, you know, what other funding projects we can, since you're getting the data now, we might as well just like put everything in the basket.
That's true.
Because if we're looking at applying for more grants, having this information to include into the grants when we write our proposals will give us a lot of credibility.
Yeah, and
For
also,
example, go ahead.
sorry. No, I'm sorry.
For example, you know, climate smart commodities, if we have like some kind of data set that we can include in a chart, by pulling it from this map, that would be really cool. It would make things a lot easier for us. Okay.
It also, I feel like it'll make it easier for us to, you know, target whatever those future programs that you're talking about. It could, once we have like the database and we have you know, their information and stuff, we'll know who to approach easier, you know, ahead of time. We could, you know, figure out who would qualify to be a part of a program or stuff like that. Like it'll make it more efficient because there's, you know, not a lot of us. So it could help in the future.
Wow.
Yeah, so awesome. Okay, thank you,
Oh my
Director
goodness.
Yvonne. I was telling John that, you know,
Yeah, that's cool.
you'll have a lot of great insight too, is on the BSP side, and what are some data that we can further collect, or I think the question was whether or not we should enter into a partnership agreement with BSP. Does the board feel that this would be beneficial in terms of, should we just access the data that's out there, or should we have something more formal?
I like the formal relationship thing, and that just
agree.
shows, it goes to show that what the efforts and everything are, you know, they're really legit. They're formalized.
Documented,
Yeah.
even show our relationship.
So,
and networking.
you know, we're not just saying partner, you know how we have our partnership meeting and, you know, we have a lot of things with ag and these other EPA and all that, but when we do an agreement like that, you know, I think that's way a better way to show us. Then when we talk about it, when we say we have a partner in this effort, that it's a formal partnership. It's not just
Plus he's
pari.
he was telling me that he's a cabinet member, so also too, it would leave the door open in the future, like how she was mentioning, to try and get everything now, but if we have the agreement in place
Yeah,
and then he gets moved
yeah,
out of
it's still there.
it's still there.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
I just
Awesome.
wanted to add one more thing. Having this partnership agreement with BSP, you know, when I was trying to fly out to the annual meeting, Lola, even Ed, they don't really know what the districts do. And so
yeah,
if we can, what our foundations are and how we kind of, what is the term?
Mission.
Our mechanisms and what, like the importance of the districts
mhm.
within, because I don't know if you realize this, but the districts have a lot of power in terms of getting the funding and then also helping the community. Look at this capacity building grant that we received. That's $80,000 that could go to so much training for people and learning more about conservation, or even just training in conservation for more people. And the more people who know about conservation, and then, you know, the more likely we're able to conserve the lands, which in turn affects the watersheds and the aquifer, and then water quality and all of our native habitats and everything like that. So definitely, maybe all this to say, include our mechanisms when we put in our partnership. I didn't see it in our partnership. We had what it is the district does, like an introduction into our purpose, our mission, and how even our partnership can benefit BSP itself. So I think that would be really great to include, and I mean I could try to help with that as well, to kind of flesh that out, but just let me know. Yeah,
When I
but yeah,
spoke to
Lola and Ed don't really know what the districts do.
he was
So I was like,
when I spoke to Matt, he was aware of you guys and like what you're doing and stuff. He was showing me a bunch of stuff. Even there's like some agriculture census or some
Mhm.
survey. He said
Yeah.
it's almost done.
Yeah.
He said we could even see that if we want.
yeah, they're that's part of the Guam Forest System Plan, and that's 80% done. And so this is, and we'll get into this later on when I do make an announcement, but the 2050 sustainability plan, that really is the repository of everything that Matt is talking about, all the layers for agriculture, like, you know, Chamorro Land Trust Commission, and you'll be able to see it after this meeting. If you have some time, run over to UOG and check them out. They'll still be there afterward. I think there's food too, so we can have dinner as well.
Thanks, Director
Oh.
Iman.
What's that? Well, she's talking.
There's something going on at UOG where we can go over there.
Yeah,
Oh.
check it out. There'll be food too, but
Yeah.
it was these guys named her.
It's a 2050 sustainability plan stakeholder meeting, and I would encourage you to go today, because if you can go to the Jico one tomorrow from 5:30 to 9, maybe you can, you know, bring in more information. But it's yeah, I'll get into that later in the agenda. I don't want to jump ahead.
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, I'll see you already there,
Jamie.
Okay, so I think
Nice.
thank you, John, for all that legwork and presenting this. We'll be sure to share this with the directors, the flow chart, as well as the partnership agreement with the recommended edits. And then we can look to also establish a partnership agreement with Department of Agriculture, in which Maddie will be heading as well. And then hopefully with CLTC, right, Director Takai, we should have a partnership agreement with CLTC for real. But they are our main stakeholders that are mentioned in our
Yes.
mandate. So we'll start getting these
Exactly.
partnerships in place. Okay, all right, moving
Yeah.
on. I think that concludes
Yep.
the NAC, I mean, Repi grant report. No further
Repi.
action needed at this time. I mean, there are a couple, like the Bernard Watson Scholarship, but Dr. Dilla is kind of overseeing that. We also have our website established. So by next meeting, we want to start live streaming on our website and populating the website with our meeting minutes and other information on our available programs. So I'll have a better update on that next time. I do want to ask the board, though, our current website is conservationguam.org. That's our handle, or that's our website title. All of our social media platforms, it's Southern Guam Conservation. Do we want to change our website before we full on publicize and start promoting it to southernguamconservation.org or just conservationguam.org? We can use both. So whatever, and if somebody types in Southern Guam Conservation, is kind of long. That's the only thing. .org.
No, but wasn't that, what was that? They were talking about this before, weren't we? And they were saying since we got that conservation thing. So like if somebody wanted to go in, right, once they type in conservation, we should be able to pop up right there, right? Is that how
Right.
that? So
Well,
every
that's-
time somebody looks up conservation, we should be there, right?
Right, that's what he
One of
said.
those, I don't know.
The keywords.
Yeah.
Conservation Guam is a more like searchable type of website compared to others, other types of handles, but yeah. Okay,
But
well,
that guy, sorry, that guy Ram or whatever, the guy doing the website,
yes.
even though our website's named different, he can put like keywords on it, so when they search that it'll come up. And then, you know, the more that people click on the website, the higher it'll move up on the list.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I don't
know. I know that exists, but I don't know how to get that done.
Yeah, I know it exists. I don't know how to do it either. Yeah.
So,
That's a
conservation.
search engine optimization. I think I don't think he needs to work too hard to do that. But can I just add, in terms of consistency, I agree that we should have Southern Guam, maybe even just hyphenate it. Southern Guam soil, our or like I know you have on YouTube. Something like that, but I think we should have something similar to that. But I also like the conservationguam.org. So if we can keep both and it's not like an extra charge, I think it's only like $11 a month for a domain. But if we could keep both and they're like the same website but different domain, then that would be cool.
Okay, awesome. So Director, I'll work with you on developing our handle further, if that's okay with the board.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay, all right. Thank you. And then John is our techie as well, so he is helping us get on with the live stream and whatnot. Okay, thank you, Director.
Thanks, Director.
Yeah, Yvonne.
Okay. So that's the referral. That's it for the
Repeat.
grant. Let me stop share this. Okay.
Okay, now we're on Southern Guam feral swine.
Yes.
So what are we doing here?
Okay, so I guess first up on our discussion is the agreement for FY 2024 with USDA APHIS. I believe I sent earlier the estimates received from Charlene regarding how much it would cost for us to extend services to the end of the fiscal year. So that is from July 1st to September 30th. And that is, I'll get the amount. $12,654.76. That would be the amount for services from July 1st to September 30th, 2024.
Okay, we did discuss that last week, meeting, right?
Right.
Okay, so we just need a motion for that to decide to approve it, or?
Right. I know during the last board meeting, we didn't have our full board and we don't have a full board again. So it's really up to the board on if we are going to continue the services for the remaining fiscal year with APHIS for the control and management of feral swine using corral traps down south. 13 weeks. It's a total of 13 weeks.
Okay. Huh?
I'll make a motion to support that effort and let's continue in the agreement to man.
To
Well,
that fiscal year.
yeah, what is it, what, 12,000? Was it 12,000?
Yeah, something.
I didn't want to go past 10. But let's go ahead and do well, let me rescind my motion. Let me rescind that motion real fast. Can I get the number again there, Ari?
Yeah.
For the
It's-
agreement, because I don't have my email open at the moment.
Hold on. It's 12,654.76.
Okay. I'll make a motion to give APHIS that amount of money that was stated, just to continue the agreement that we have for the traps to be set up and services from them till the end of the fiscal year.
I second.
Okay, thank you. Without any objection, so move.
Harry, please tell Charlene that I made the motion, please.
Thank you.
Glenn made the motion.
They secretary.
We're gonna
Okay,
be,
good.
yeah, definitely. Okay, thank you, board, for that. I'll go ahead and let them know, and then we're gonna really be on it because we'll be having our pig brig project running at the same time. So we better see Pura feral swine
Yeah.
removed for real.
We should
So,
see.
okay, and we'll work on outreach efforts and just getting this really out there in the community. So great job to the Southern District. Okay. So the next thing that we are discussing is the pig brig trap status. The traps are in. I received the invoice. The pig brig traps are in. It needs to be picked up from tomorrow through, I guess, Friday, between 1 through 4.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah, I saw that.
We're
At their warehouse
In
in Tamundi.
Harmon.
Harmon.
In Harmon. So I'll leave it to you, Chair and Vice Chair, to coordinate that pickup. I'll let them know that you'll
Is
pick it
that
up.
like triple B or is it that they have their own?
I have the address. But I did have a question. There's a balance there for the shipping cost.
Yeah,
Is
like
is that covered already, or do we have to? I know we
Yes,
don't,
so,
I believe, I'm sorry.
so I know Pig Brig, they sent a message regarding shipping, but we've already paid for the shipping cost to land to 3K. We will have to pay the invoice for the 3K shipping,
Right,
which
so,
I received.
so that was my question. I think it was like 900 or so, nine some.
Yes,
Do we
yes.
need a check written to pick it up?
I
And
yeah.
how would I get that? And
So I'll send the amounts to you and Chairman, and then I know Chairman has he can prepare the checks and then just get
Okay.
your signature and
I'll
whatnot.
sign, as long as us two will sign off on, okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I know that's within our budget that we've already, because it's under the 20 grand
Right.
still, so we don't need to
Yeah.
make a motion for that. Just wanted to know that
Right.
for tomorrow when we pick up.
All right, and then I think also for the cameras
Okay.
as well.
Oh, yeah, as a matter of fact, I got an email on that. It arrived, the cameras, all 6 have arrived in 3K as of today email, but it's got to be shipped over. So we might have to pay like 20, according to Kenisha, it may probably be like another $25 for the shipping to get here. For
Okay.
the 6 cameras, and then it's probably gonna take a couple of weeks to get here.
Arrived from where?
From where we ordered it. I ordered it online from eBay. I don't remember the place, but it arrived it basically arrived in Inglewood, California today.
Okay.
Yesterday, the state time.
But it's still coming.
Yeah, it's on its way over to Guam now.
Okay, so you got the tracking.
We got the tracking number, yes. Oh, it's from Illinois. That's where it came originally
Okay,
from.
nice.
Okay,
Okay, so I'll just will you be on the lookout for that?
Yeah,
That's something. Okay.
yep.
Awesome. So we'll just once it lands. Did you want to be, I mean, I know, should the
I think I
reimbursement?
can. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll just send that stuff to you.
Okay,
Whatever, like I did the same thing with the invoice for the cameras as well.
yes, okay. Sounds good.
So the last thing is the other material, right?
Yeah, Maddie,
Great.
I think we're working with
Yeah.
Maddie on that, right?
All right, Maddie, you're up. How for the quotes, yeah.
Yeah, for the quotes, so are you able to pull it up or?
Yes, I can pull it up. Let me see.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just canvassing around. Erica wanted to source locally, so I went to ERC, Guam Home Center in Benson, and they didn't have all of the parts. Like somewhere, like the 7-foot post, but the brig calls for the 7-foot post, but then they have like 8-foot. So there's like those little differences. I'm not sure if you guys can still use that. But I know like Benson has a T-post. I would go for that if you can use the 8-foot. and they also have the clamps and
Speed over it, please.
the hook or the hook thingy. I don't know what you call it. And then the only
Um,
thing that
mhm.
the only thing that they didn't have, Benson didn't have, was the eye hook stake. So that one, I believe, who has that?
That was ERC that should have that.
Yeah, ERC has the 21-inch one,
That's
but
fine.
the plan calls for 31. So I would recommend, we go with Benson for the 3 parts, and then ERC for the rebar stake. I felt like that would be the best way. And then I just wanted to bring up something interesting. I was talking to one of the associates that was helping me, and he was telling me about I told him it was for a pig trap, and then he's like, "Oh, do you guys know when is the mating season for the pigs?" I'm not sure. I don't know if we talked about that in the meeting, but he was like, "Yeah, you got to get them like during the mating season, and you got to get the male, like the big male, and that'll stop, like, that would be an effort to stop the population." So I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna bring that up to the guys."
Thanks, Maddie.
But I don't know. I think you guys already know that.
Like, yeah, they mate all year long. Like,
Yeah,
They mate all year
we're
long.
trying to get all of
they
them.
mate all day, every day, all day.
But you are right in a way, because that male, that boar, he goes around to different
Yeah, the
what do you call it?
Yeah.
Sounder.
powder. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
Yeah, he was saying they can make up to like 10, 10 piglets every season per
Yep.
female. So I was thinking, man, how are we gonna, like, target that with these traps and everything? But I don't, that just went through my head, but I'm not sure. I feel like,
Well,
there's
you will be able to
Apis
be a
knows
part
more.
of that, Maddie.
Yeah. And then also, I just wanted to ask, are these traps, the ones that are coming in, are they gonna be available to the registered the southern the registered SWCD farmers? That way when I go do the site visits, I can.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
just
not right
yet.
now. Not right now.
Oh, okay. Not right
This
now.
is like this is our feasibility study so that we can expand. If it's successful, we'll try to expand it to them later, as that's in the
Yeah.
future.
Okay, so I'll just like get information, like I'll just make them aware of this program, and then later in the future, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
so I guess
Are you sharing that list there with us
Yeah,
so we can access
so
it
yes, we'll
and
share
look
it with you both.
and look at it?
I mean, we can already just, I mean, if they're ready, we can already just take what's the cheapest ones here and then purchase them. I mean, is there anything here that's like one or the other versus, I mean, that's comparative? Because, for example, T-Post, there's none at Guam Home Center. T-Post, there's none at ERC, so only one that's here is Benson. So we might as well go ahead and
The
do
8
that.
footers, yep.
Right?
You can always
The
cut it
8 feet,
if you
the
need it.
8
Oh, no.
feet is okay.
8 feet's okay because we'll
Yeah.
just pound it down a little further.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
Yeah.
still
And then-
works.
The only reason why we went with the 7 feet was because that was the only thing available on Home Depot's app that we were able to see, and it was cheaper. So that was the only reason why I mean, that the number, it can go from 6 all the way to 8. That's usable, that at least
Yeah.
from the ones we've used with Sam.
Okay, and then I think this this is the clamp.
The hose clamps, yep, for the top. So I guess whatever, I'm fine with whatever we choose here. If we're looking at money, we can go the cheapest. If we're looking at quality, then we can go with, the higher. I think it's still, I'm thinking with all of this, it's still gonna fall within in our budget.
Right.
I think we just need to
And
purchase them and get now that the traps are in, we can purchase and start setting up.
We don't,
And
we do want to get the good ones.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
that way it can last.
Yeah,
you know what
so I don't mind getting like the higar quality
Yeah,
ones of those hose
stainless
clamps.
steel.
Yeah, that probably might not be, meaning don't go cheap on the,
Yeah.
on the hose clamps.
Yeah.
okay, so it looks like we're gonna go with Benson and then the eye hook
ERC.
20, is that 21 inches is
21
good?
inches is fine. Yeah, that's almost 2 feet. That's pretty deep.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. All right. So I'll work with Maddie. We'll package this
Yeah.
up and we'll route for the check.
Okay,
So that way we can move to purchase this since the traps are here.
right on. Yeah,
Uh,
so just let us
we're
know
ready
what,
to go.
I'll work with director, chair, when to pick up the traps. And then we'll just wait for you guys to let us know when those are ready for us to pick those hardware up.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Alrighty. Thank you, Maddie, for
Thank you,
all of
Maddie.
it. I know
Thank you.
this isn't an easy task. It's very tedious. So thank you for being very
Yeah.
detailed on it. Okay, moving along. Pulling up my.
Stress grant.
Okay,
Department of
so
Ag stress grant.
It's Director Marty, right?
yeah, right. So Director Marty is the lead on this. We are still working on a lot of the procurement and development of our merchandise. It's really coming in nicely. So hopefully we'll be able to secure or to get in our merchandise, our merch, really soon. I'm working with Chairman right now, and Maddie is also on that project for the home gardening for stress management and limited mobility. Oh, Chairman left?
Yeah, he just
Where's-
stepped off to use the restroom, I think.
Okay. Director Glenn, do you know, are you applying for that micro grant?
Yes, I am.
When is that due?
The 28th, or wait,
Of
it might be
this-
the 30th.
Of
It's,
this month?
of this month, June. It's doing like about a week, 9 or 10
Oh,
days. I'll look it
gosh.
up right now. And I helped a couple people write theirs already.
Are there any other grant opportunities coming up, like WSARE or anything like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
there is. Sarah always has one coming, but they're a little higher level, like more educational ones. And so I got one the other day from Sarah. Hold on, let me get you this date real quick. So it's the 28th, June 28th, 4 p.m. is the micro grant.
Yeah.
That's the deadline for that. And in
Gosh.
regards to,
Do you know, okay, so this is the thought, right? There's all these grants that are out there for farmers to apply. I've helped a few farmers write up their grants, and even for me, those
Mhm.
grant write-ups are kind of difficult. You know, or it's just like
yeah, there's a lot to write on there.
So that's a big stressor in itself for farmers. And I was
Yeah.
thinking maybe we contract a grant writer using the stress funding to assist farmers in applying for these grant opportunities.
Well, you know who does an excellent job? Like I went to their workshop, and when I wrote my first SARE grant, I followed everything they said to do, and that's when I got it. Was Dr. Barber and Mark Acosta. They trained their workshop was literally writing a SARE grant.
Yeah, so I kind of want to do that, but it would have been great if it was to help farmers apply for the micro grant, like some sort of grant that's already coming up that they can apply for. But
I see.
yeah,
Well, the tenants that they shared on writing that grant, I am applying those principles that they shared in that grant as well. So like their grant writing workshop was more like the things that you want to put in when you're writing a grant for ag. So I
Right.
think you can still use it.
I was thinking more like a grant writer who will work with the farmer one-on-one and opposed to a workshop.
Like having
Like
somebody that would work.
consultant
Yeah,
or like something,
Yeah.
but
yeah, like
chairman
basically a
do in
consultant.
a week. Yeah, like a consultant to
Mm-hmm.
assist. So,
Kind of like what you're saying we do. We sit down with these farmers and we're helping them write ones.
So
right.
I do know one that, my friend there, Brian, cause he's been actually active in the last at least the last, was it 2 cycles already of that micro grant or?
No, yeah, but I think once you get it, you can't apply again.
No,
According to the-
no, what I mean, yes, you can.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I read it that if you.
Really?
yeah.
No, it's been ongoing.
This is the
since
fourth round. This is the fourth round.
Fourth, yeah, so.
Yeah.
But you just gotta do different things.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
doing a different thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
But what I was getting at is that he's been assisting farmers already in the grant,
Yeah.
process, so. That's somebody like that can be.
Yeah, yeah.
We can get to. Do or help our farmers get through this process, cause. I don't know if you did that middle of the road,
I didn't do the middle of the chain.
so.
No, that was a lot.
I went through that, Erica was helping me, and it wasn't so easy.
Yeah, that
Even
was
with
a lot.
Erica there.
That was a lot. And that was either,
All these other farmers that, they didn't have an Erica to.
Yeah. that was a lot. That was the only reason why I did it
Yeah.
is I had my crop reports due for FSA
Yeah,
and then our CS, so I didn't, like, I had to choose one or the other and I had to get those done. And I figured I wasn't too prepared on, that was either the structural or the equipment only.
Right.
well, there wasn't a lot of time
Yeah.
and that's another thing, right? So if you have somebody that's knowledgeable about that.
Yeah.
Processing,
But
that would help the farmers, that would.
and that one was
relief
probably one of the
stress.
biggest things you would write. Like that one, when I saw
Yeah.
the structural one, like up to 500 minimum was like 100 grand to 500,000. Like that one was like much more, like I went to the training on that. And it was
Yeah.
much more than a regular farmer rancher grant, you know what I mean? So if you do that one, you can pretty much do.
Yeah,
So what are you suggesting here? You're saying try
Well,
to,
I wanted to see if we could use some of that funding to contract a consultant that would provide assistance to our farmers on a one-on-one type like basis to help them submit a micro grant for this upcoming
So-
round, but it's
So
too.
what
oh, no, this upcoming round's over in like 9 days.
yeah, but so
Right.
what we would do here is like our farmer listing. Any of those guys, they want to participate and they need help in the
Mhm.
micro grant, then just let us know and then we can say, okay, this is the guy you deal with. He'll help you and we let him know. So we can actually keep track of who's applying and all that too, so.
Well, why don't we just use some of the funding and then we'll schedule it in and we'll hold it and we'll conduct it.
The grant, the workshop to apply
Like
for the.
when these opportunities come around.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I was wondering if there was, we should do that, actually. I'm not just wondering because we have to expend this stress grant funding
Yeah.
for August 30th. Is there a grant opportunity that's coming in from now until then? That we
Yeah, there
can-
is. Well, I mean, on SARE right now, there's the Sustainable Agriculture Action Plan. There's the professional and producer. See, that's a big one. That's October, right? But
Well, maybe we
dude, that
can
one,
start.
that one's you would need like a UOG professor and then a farmer. So like
Oh,
that's
so
a pretty big one.
Yeah.
Farmer ranchers deadline is October 23rd. That's the easy one. Professional development, yeah. I mean, there's some here.
Okay, I'll get with you on that, Director. And we'll see what.
What's the farmer ranch? Yeah,
That's the one that I was at. Oh, yeah, you do. That's the one I applied for all the time.
The one, oh yeah, the
Farmer
ranch.
Okay, I mean, yeah,
Okay.
we can collaborate on that and see what's down
Yeah.
the road.
So that was just an idea, and then we're still drawing down on the funding. But of course, I think we've only really spent with all the merchandise close to 15,000, so we might have like another 15,000 more to go before August
Okay.
30th. So just
Yeah, we need to crank away on that.
Yeah, okay. All right, so we'll have a better report, for that next meeting as well. Or
You know,
when we
if we hold a workshop and we'll like pay for everything and try to do that for what's something upcoming within like, but before that August date. If we are to invite, like Bob and maybe Mark, we can't pay them, right? We're not allowed to, correct?
No, we're not, I mean, because that's part of
Yeah.
their program.
Yeah, that's part of what they have to do. Kind of like when we had Galabi, we couldn't give them a stipend. Okay,
Yeah.
just was wondering.
But
Okay.
maybe we can hire someone who will
Yeah.
sit down and, I don't know, that's probably their job too, to sit down with the farmer one-on-one and help them develop the
Yeah.
plan, right? Okay,
Okay, we'll talk about that later though. We'll
yeah,
figure
we'll
it
talk
out.
about that.
We just want to try to help farmers. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
but definitely excited for
Friday,
stress
about
grant.
The same, but yeah.
That's right, that's right, that's what you
So,
planned.
yeah.
It was north, south and co-op.
Yeah. Okay, what was that, Erica?
That's it for the stress grant for now.
So NACD summer meeting. August
Okay.
10th to the 13th.
This was previously approved by the board, so I'm gonna go ahead and start working with chair, vice chair on travel arrangements, so just be on the lookout for that.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay,
Chairman, did you have anything that we needed to be aware of as we prepare for this summer meeting? Anything from the executive board?
hold on a second.
Summer meeting.
I just wanna get a picture of that real quick, so I keep forgetting the dates. So I'm sorry, what was that for the summer meeting?
Do we have anything to be aware of as every?
Oh, man.
Prepares the travel stuff and all that for, because that one we already approved that. It was approved last meeting.
Yeah, I'll
Man,
just get,
I'm trying to remember my board meeting, but it seems like it was a while already because of all the things happening in between, but. I'll let you know if there's any kind of thing that I know I have some notes, but I don't have it with me. But, then Erica, that I was telling you about the fishing, trip, it was already, it was actually for executive board,
man,
but yeah, so there was only one and she was waiting on that one person to get in, so. I was hoping to find a slot for,
Oh, I see.
you know.
man. No, it's okay.
No, hey, see? So you guys can stay at the hotel while I go.
Yeah, I'll be too cold to try to get in the water in Boston
In
anyway.
San Diego.
I guess we- Guess
San
we're gonna go
Diego,
hiking then.
Well, yeah, we went on that thing in San Diego for the composting and he was in his executive meeting
I was
until after,
stuck.
so he got stuck in the hotel.
Okay. Okay,
Second.
so moving on. Well, that's it. If there's nothing else for old business, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't have anything there. But I'll let you know if anything comes up. So NACD poster contest.
Pacific region meeting. Pacific region meeting first.
Huh?
Pacific region.
Wait. Oh, where are we at?
One before.
Oh, then it, Pacific Region meeting, sorry. That's in September 11th to the 13th.
In Alaska.
That's the Alaska trip. And Glenn, I don't know who's the planner for your.
I know, right? And we talked about that so much in Tahoe.
So your time frame is this, basically the same.
Mine is like September 10th to like 12th or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's,
Well, you can, on your return.
yeah, maybe. Shucks,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe on my return, I don't know, Eric, we'll kind of work that and see if I'm done with NGLI. If on the way back, I can go to Alaska and join you guys at the Pacific region.
Yeah, let me see, because your dates for NGLI, that is
The 10th,
September
right?
8th to 13th. Well,
8th
it
to-
might have, I'm going off your original schedule that was sent way in the beginning,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't shifted. But September 8th through the 13th is what I have for your mid-session.
Yeah.
Is that
Okay,
what it is?
that was, I have that same one that Ari has.
Oh,
I don't have an updated schedule, but that's long, 8 to 13.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's all.
man, what?
Okay, well, we'll see, Nate. We'll see, because usually
Okay.
those are the official dates of the actual meeting. But then, normally we have like after that, right? The after stuff.
Yeah.
So even if it's like a day or two, I'd be on the way back. We'll see.
Okay, so we'll look into this further in the next board meeting. We can talk further about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I think they're calling for abstracts and whatnot, so there's a potential to present. I think it'll be great if the board can take a look at that and see if there's anything we want to highlight, especially from Guam. And I need to look into the theme as well. So,
Yeah, so we need to come up with something soon, right? So we can let them know.
yes. Okay, so is there any further discussion? The board is okay discussing this during next board meeting? I
Yes.
believe budget for 2 people to attend. Okay, all right, poster contest. The NACD poster contest, that was one of our projects that we were going to host to celebrate Stewardship Week and the theme. I'll have a proposal for you at the next board meeting, but what will be required is for the winners, we usually would have like a monetary award for the poster contest winners. I want to see if I can partner, if we can partner with maybe Isla Arts Center at the University of Guam. Like when I did my master's program, we helped the Isla Arts Center revamp their strategic plan. But they have such a really nice art center, and I think when we went into tour, they had a poster contest from like the elementary kids and their drawings and whatnot. It was really nice. So maybe that could be a way we can raise funds or, just highlight the children of Guam's artistic, yes, skills
Okay.
and conservation. Okay, so I'll look into that further and I'll let the board know. But at some point, the board will have to approve the award categories, but I'll see what NACD has for theirs and we'll just mirror it or increase it or match it. So
Yeah.
we'll discuss there. Okay, Southern District Active the Southern District Active District Registry. We discussed that earlier with Maddie. So one thing Maddie is going to be working on is developing our client folder for all of our registered members. So they'll have their registration form, their certificate. Maddie's coming up with the whole list of what should be included in that folder. I'm thinking that for every person that registers with the district, we pay for their soil test. They get a soil test. I think that's a really great
Yeah.
Yeah.
benefit.
We've already
for the-
started.
Yeah.
I turned one in.
Already started.
I'm
But it'll
working
be
on the
great to have that data. Yeah, so at next meeting, Maddie will provide a rundown of what we plan to have in
Yes.
that folder for board approval and input.
Okay.
Thanks, Maddie.
Okay.
All
All right,
right.
digital archive support. So Chairman and we've been thinking about this for a while. But as you can see in the office, we have a lot of historical documents that need to be scanned and uploaded and archived so we can get rid of them. because we have so much projects already, the staff were already, you know, pretty much loaded with a lot of things to do. We're looking at maybe recruiting some volunteers to help with the digital archive. So would the board be open to creating a budget where we could pay volunteers to assist in the archive of our documents?
Like a stipend?
Yeah,
Like a stipend? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Not like an internship?
yes, like an internship or more just like a volunteer like status. If we can recruit maybe students that can come in and just assist in the scanning and uploading and filing. Or even persons of the community that's aware of our work and would just
So
like
when
to.
would they be doing this? Like, you're talking weekdays or weekends, or what's kind of would somebody have to be here?
I mean, we'd have to schedule that, but most likely the
Yeah.
weekday, weekend, or
next we'll have pretty much
well,
on activity when they're not at NRCS, right?
Yeah.
right. It would have to be when somebody is at the office
Mhm.
during our time. So that can be discussed. Like we'll probably designate a day where volunteers can come in
Okay,
and
but we'll agree to to do this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if we have budget money, I'm sure we can find in our budget.
I like
It'll
that.
help, it'll help get this stuff all cluttered out of here and then get it archived up into digital, so.
Okay, so we can move on it fast and clear up some space.
Do
And
we,
then they can. Mm-hmm.
do they have is there a scanner? Do we need to purchase the scanner? Or what kind of equipment will they require?
Well, we do have one scanner. We need to locate one of the plugs for it. But there is also the University of Guam Xerox scanner that we have. But yes, we have a scanner in place and a shredder, paper shredder as well. And then a computer in which all the archives or the documents will be uploaded to. And then we'll have it on the cloud as well.
Okay. Okay, so we don't
Wanna make a
don't have to
motion?
make a motion
Yeah.
for that, or
Yeah, we'll
until we
just
get the budget?
make a move. Let's put the budget at we'll start off at 2,000. I mean, we're not gonna. I mean, just so that we have that budget there as a threshold.
Okay, so
How
someone,
how long will this be?
I'd imagine that it would be from now until the end of the fiscal year. So,
Till September?
September, July, August, September. So 3 months.
3 months,
3
okay.
months.
Okay,
at
so,
least for now. till
Yeah.
we know what.
so I'll make a motion to pull, budget out $2,000 from now to the end of the fiscal year. To get some, volunteers or those that are interested to, put together the digital archive. For the files that we have here in the office.
I second.
Okay, without any objection, so moved. But Erica, you would have to come up with some kind of
Yeah,
plan there so that, like how much per day would you be paying for what kind of workload, that kind of thing, right? I don't know how we would do that, but
Yes,
we can talk about that later, right?
right. We'll go ahead and I'll develop the proposal for the program. Along with what the stipend would look like.
Yeah.
I know stipends, that they're only $50 that can be paid. Otherwise, the other form would be an honorarium, but stipends are usually $50, no more per day. But
Per day,
I'll get
but-
with you.
Okay, all right, we'll talk later. Okay,
Or course.
okay, we're good, right, Erica?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to board correspondence.
Okay, so this is really to inform the board of the different correspondence that have been received since our last board meeting. We did get a request from USDA NRCS, the PIA director, JB Martin. He has requested that the districts, both the north and the south, co-host the local working group meeting before August 30th. I know the North had responded and they are proposing hosting the local working group August 24th. I think with the whole conversation with the board capacity training, we were looking at having it like during September time. So I really wanted to get the feedback from the board. Is this something that we want to pursue? I did respond to Corey asking her the possibility of hosting this in September, the local working group meeting in September. But I know that they put that August 30th deadline there so that they can program their funding in accordance with the priorities that we set. So
And then also Ari, the September, that's when we leave. We all leave in
Right.
September from the Pacific region and NGLI.
Correct. So with that in mind, it would either have to be like the latter part of September, which might be crazy,
That'd be too
Or-
late.
Yeah, when we get back, that's gonna be.
before we leave. And I know, Director, I was asking about the possibility of hosting, like, having it during the Assembly of Planners. But the summer meeting is on August 9th, and so I know that will be difficult to coordinate, being that the Assembly of Planners is August 8th. So do we want to shoot for August 30th? Like hosting it before then? Do we want to have it in
Yeah.
July?
No, have it like what I think the North is saying, which is August 24th, I think, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it seems like a pretty
they-
decent time frame.
they want to have it at the Hyatt. I do not want to have it at the Hyatt. I'm tired of that. Like,
Oh, okay, well, I mean, we're at, I'm sure, whatever you can, but in terms of time frame, we'll be back from the summer meeting. And then it's a good time frame after we get back
At
and then,
least a week.
yeah, it gives you a week after coming back.
I
And then
was
also,
actually suggesting the following week after August 24th. And the
Okay.
reason is because that's a 3-day weekend. So just based on the Guahan Sentinel Landscapes partner, the event that we held, that I know you couldn't be there, but we
I
had a
know.
great turnout, and I'm suspecting it might be because of that 3-day weekend. But
Okay.
like it's like a day they didn't
Yeah.
lose, they have a longer weekend, so it was
Yeah.
kind of nice, even for us.
Yeah,
had to
I'm okay
put-
with that too,
So that.
because it's still,
But that's right
still-
on the deadline though, the August 30.
Right, so I think the 24th is a Saturday that
Yeah.
they're recommending we have it,
Yeah.
but we're also including like our partners, right? So ideally, we'd like to have it like on a Friday, I
Yeah.
think, so.
Friday's a good day, but what Friday?
It
The
would be the
23rd or
August
the-
30th,
Or the 30th?
August 30th, they want to get technical.
I'm okay
No.
with either one.
Okay. Director Yvonne, what do you think? Will you be available?
August 24th?
So
Or
August
the
24th, the North is recommending August 24th. And or the
We're
30th.
recommending the
That's a
23rd.
Saturday.
Yeah, we're recommending a Friday.
Go ahead and choose the day. And I could, I could just take leave for whatever day that would be for. I'm still pending my security clearance. So
Okay.
I can't, I'm not too sure, but I will take leave for that day.
Yeah, I think we want to do it on a weekday. And then we'll let Director Yvonne know because remember, the local working group should be representative of all of our partners
Yeah.
that give that input. And if it's a Saturday, they may say, yeah, we'll show up, but our experience as we've run
Yeah, not a
outreaches
good
on
day.
Saturdays, it's like things come up and then we've had so many
Yeah.
people pull out. So
Yeah.
on a Friday, at least each like directors of all these different organizations and from the government can still be set that time aside. So I like your suggestion of Friday, either the 23rd or either the 30th or 29th.
Yeah.
As opposed to the Saturday, but either one of those weekends is fine with me.
Yeah.
I think is good.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna, yeah, okay, awesome. I'm thinking the 30th or the 30th, like right on the
Okay.
dot.
Okay.
But yeah, that needs to be really like, I think we need to coordinate somehow with the North and Jade or Nilla, and we'll propose the August 30th date.
Definitely not the 24th, because that's a Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's either the 23rd or the 30th
Yeah.
is what we're
And
suggesting.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I
and
still
then let's
think
throw it out there.
I think the venue, we can still shop around, but I think maybe we'll try out a different venue. Hyatt's great, but I think it's too far for our southern farmers. So just something a little bit not so far up north, so kind of bring it down. We were even thinking the governor's house might be a good venue, but we can discuss that further. As long as we lock in the date and the time, we can get into those details later. But yeah,
Okay.
those are our thoughts.
Plus, we even have to work on conducting it, like who, how that's gonna go with the North. Right, because last time it was us and Teddy, but Teddy's no longer there.
So, yeah,
Well, we can talk
and
about
yeah,
that.
yeah, we'll talk about it because I know the Guahan Sentinel, the event that we held, I was gonna do a Mentimeter
Mhm.
activity, but we
Mhm.
didn't have enough time. So I still have that. And it looked,
Okay.
those questions look more geared towards local
local work
working
group?
group. Yeah,
Sure.
so we'll work on that together.
Okay.
Why
Okay.
don't you run it and then we'll make the North pay us.
Erica, we
can
consider the Guam
Okay.
Museum because they have like those tables and chairs, and so if we're gonna
I
be
do
doing
like the Guam Museum. Yeah,
Dude,
I
that
was
sounds nice,
thinking,
yeah.
I like the Guam Museum too, only because I'd like to also set up some sort of like expo for farmer. I don't know, well, yeah, expo for like the farmers to learn about the different programs, because that was one of the bigger feedback, like the big feedback during the event was that the farmers wanted to know more about the federal programs that are actually out there and to get more
Okay.
detailed. Okay, sorry. I know it's already 7 after.
Mm.
So let's
Okay,
move.
so moving on, public comments, I don't see any
Nobody
public
on
around
comment.
here, so we'll go to the next one. We need to go to executive session. So John, you can just step out right from.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Okay, and Maddie, I think Maddie's good to go, right, Chair?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, yeah.
Thank you, Maddie, for everything you're doing.
Maddie,
Yes.
we'll
Hi,
catch up
Maddie, have a
later.
great day. Take care.
Take care.
Hey.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Is Maddie added to our group? Our Southern?
Yeah, she's off.
Not yet, but I'll add them both.
Still recording, pause?
Okay,
Are
let
we
me
offline?
stop. Let me pause.
Okay.
And then let me pause the,
Share.
what is it? Um,